And welcome back to Talk of Alabama, a foggy morning here in the Magic City. Well, this year has been rough. Family issues are no different. It's been a hard year for couples. You know, there comes a moment in many relationships where the partnership is no longer viable and where separation, or for married couples, divorce in that case, is the unavoidable next step. That's why we brought in divorce attorney. Well, she's an attorney. She does a lot of divorces, not just divorces. Suzanne Norman to discuss family law for couples who may be going through this right now. Hello to you.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for talking with me today.
You know, this is interesting. I had a couple of friends that divorced during the pandemic, and when I asked them why, they said, you know, we were so busy with our careers and our kids, we just never took the time to slow down and think about, is this the life I want? Am I happy? And the pandemic gave people that time to really reevaluate their life. Are you seeing a bunch of that?
We are definitely seeing that, and at the beginning when this kind of first started, it was a little surprising because you hear constantly about how the pandemic has added all of these kind of layers of stress, and people are staying home but also staying busier than ever. But it's created a change in the way that people live that has really allowed them to reflect on their interpersonal relationships and their marriages, for sure.
Yeah, plus you're spending, you know, people that are now working from home that have never done that before, now they're spending so much time together that they never did. I mean, let me tell you, I love my husband, but I was ready to come back to work. I was like, I can't be around anybody. I don't even like being around myself 24/7. Like, I need a little separation, you know? Like, so
sure, yeah.
I think a lot of people are talking about this right now. When it comes to a divorce, does that encompass more than like the technical separation of parties and the dissolution of marriage?
Definitely. So a divorce is much more than just getting a judge to sign a piece of paper that says the two of you are no longer husband and wife. It, you know, oftentimes will involve children, which can make things even more stressful, and just the more people that you have to involve in matters that are so personal, the harder it often is going to be. But divorce can, or family law in general, can encompass divorces, child custody matters, post-divorce enforcement actions, which, like you asked just a second ago, divorce is more than just getting separated. It's making sure your assets are divided up. It's making sure your, you know, retirement interests are considered. It's making sure if you own a business that that's divided up in a way that's equitable between both parties. And post-divorce enforcement comes in when you get a divorce and you get an agreement between a husband and a wife, and one party, for whatever reason, is not following through on what they've agreed to do.
Okay, so when you talk about kind of, you mentioned protecting yourself or your interest. So there's prenups, we know about those. Are there postnups?
There is, exactly. There's a prenup, and there's also something that's called a postnup, which is essentially the same thing. It just happens after you get married. And so thinking about those kind of agreements, because at the end of the day, they are technically contracts. Yeah. It's not the most romantic idea in the world, but it does offer couples some certainty in the event that something happens. You know, you never start out a marriage and assume that things are going to go bad. That's not what the idea behind a prenup or a postnup is. It's just to give you and your spouse some clarity and some certainty on what may happen in the future.
Okay, so if people have questions, because this is a huge topic, and we could talk for a long time about this.
Sure.
There's obviously mediation, there's all kinds of things that we haven't been able to address. How can people contact you?
So they can contact our office. We have a main phone number, which off the top of my head, I'm going to be really impressed if I remember this. It's 205.
It's on the screen. There you go.
Oh my God, it's on the screen. Okay, I don't even have to remember it. We have a Facebook presence, an Instagram presence, LinkedIn, Twitter. Any of those are methods that you can get in touch with any attorney in our office that practices family law.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you so much.
We'll talk more. Come back again, okay?
All right, thanks.